The widow's impulse. Elena Marlowe's house had grown far too quiet. The tall windows let in the pallid autumn light, but it touched nothing that stirred warmth within her. Dust motes swirled in endless circles as though mocking her stillness, and the tick of the grandfather clock marked her solitude more cruelly than silence ever could. The widow had not sought companionship since Victor's burial. To most who looked upon her, she carried herself with composure, wealthy, elegant, untouchable. Yet within, her heart still bore the bruises of betrayal that death had not erased. Victor had not been faithful. She had discovered letters, faint perfume on his shirts, whispers among servants. His grave had given her release, but never justice. What does one do when a wound lingers long after the wounder is gone? Elena had no answer, only a hunger that clawed deeper each day, the hunger to feel seen again. It was during a late walk in the old quarter of the city that she stumbled upon the auction. She had not planned to attend, yet curiosity drew her behind the crimson-draped archway where murmurs buzzed and coins clinked. Men with veiled faces and women in dark gloves bartered in low tones. The air carried both smoke and secrecy. At first, she thought of turning back. This place was not for her. But then her gaze caught on the dais where 3 figures stood, cloaked and hooded in black. Unlike the others being paraded, they did not shift or cower. They stood in stillness, heads lowered, as though waiting for something unseen. Rare companions, the auctioneer called them, though his voice cracked under the strain of performance. Bound in silence, each promised to loyalty. Elena's eyes lingered longer than she intended. Why them? Why now? The rational part of her whispered that she should leave, yet her loneliness coiled tightly around her ribs, urging her to stay. She raised her hand without calculation, bidding higher than any voice that followed. And just like that, they were hers. The carriage ride home was cloaked in silence, broken only by the roll of wheels and the occasional stamp of a horse's hoof. Elena sat opposite the 3 hooded strangers, studying them through the shadows. She wondered at their faces, their stories. What madness had compelled her to claim them? She told herself she would dismiss them at the estate, grant them freedom. Yet some unspoken force kept her from speaking the words aloud. It was then that it happened. A sound slipped from beneath one of the hoods, soft as a breath, yet clear as a bell. Elena. Her name. Spoken not with question, but recognition. The widow's heart lurched. Her knuckles tightened against her lap, and her voice faltered as she